Hello Lolas. So I'm here with Baby Taylor, and Baby Taylor is the Vivi sculpt by Lilianne Breedveld, and she was actually painted by Claire Taylor and poured by Claire Taylor. The whole edition will be poured by Claire Taylor, as she poured all of Lilianne Breedveld's editions, as far as I know. So I wanted to ask, have you guys ever made a purchase or, entered a custom and then I was really excited about it and knew exactly this is what you want, all this, and then you start to see either the prototype or other mommies getting their babies and seeing photos and stuff, and all of a sudden you're unsure? All right, before we get into that, please make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Please make sure that you click the like button and make sure that you click the bell to be a part of the notification squad. And if you'd like to join my team membership, which is AKA known as the Chatterbox, you could click the link below. So anyway, this little one, so sweet. So anyway, like I was saying, I just wonder if, you've done that and you're like, and when you start to see the pictures, like I said, of either the prototype or other babies that's out there, you start like second guessing your choice, or thinking, oh my gosh, this baby is not what I wanted, da 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 da, and how do you handle it? Because I'll tell you a true confession. When I ordered my Vivi and she was being painted and everything, I was like, okay, I was excited. I was like, well, when it get closer, I'll start to buy for her this, that, or other, because she was, of course, done as a painted kit, so she wasn't going to come with anything, or, if anything, it would be, something small. So I was like, okay. So the funny thing is that I went to look at the photos, and as I was looking at I was looking at, like, I looked at some of Claire Taylor photos, and she had the baby on, I don't know, it was like she was on a slope or something, but she looked so cute in a tucked pose. And then later, I was like, I was all excited and everything. And then later, I was like, dang, I wish she would have done a more straightforward picture or whatever, but it was fine. Later, another artist showed her pictures, and she did face forward pictures and all that stuff. So I was like, oh my gosh, I love her. And then as they started to upload more pictures, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't like her hands. Oh my God, I hate her hands. So I was like, okay, I'll just buy hand mitts. That's okay. And then after a while, I was like, oh my God, I don't like the position of her body. I was like, hey, I'm not going to be able to do it. And it was just like, and I just kept going back and forth. And I was driving myself insane. And I mean, what do? I'm not a person that's going to just cancel out my order, or, try to ask for a refund or make up some lousy excuse as into why I can't go through with the purchase or whatever. So I was like, well, she'll come and I'll just sell her. And that's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, oh, when she get here, I'll just sell her. I'm not picky like little things that people think I might be. Like, I understand the imperfections of a human. I understand that things are not going to be perfect, da 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 da. I'm not like one of those people that are going to be like, oh my God, she has a dot on her. I didn't ask for that dot. I'm not one of those people, but I am one of those people that I'm very picky about what baby I choose. And, you know, thank you everybody that thinks I have great taste, but I'm very anal before I purchased my baby. So I had, you know, I was like, oh, this so sweet baby, you know, she reminds me of Nova, and I really love Nova. So I was like, you know, I love Nova and I love Teddy. So I was like, you know, and I love Puck. So I was like, I wasn't worried about that. But as I start to see more and more of her, I was starting to question different things, the position. And then at one point, I thought the wrist was like sculpted to turn in an awkward position, but it was just the armatures. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't want her hands to be curled in like that. Like, and I was like, I was just freaking out. Like every little thing, I was going crazy. I mean, and then there was things like, then when the other artist did a video, I was so excited because I was like, oh, she moves nice. The movement looks great, you know? But then something, they did something and I said, shoot, but I'm not sure about this part. But at least it feels nice. And I was just like, yeah, I was like, I don't know. So I was so torn. And let's add that to the fact that I did this one blindly, where I didn't get nothing, no pictures, no nothing. You know, I was just gonna do a straight blind box opening. It was just epic. It was crazy to do it that way, but it made a really great experience. But, and then, you know, like little imperfections, I was like reading things and they were like, this is, you know, flawed in this and this is flawed in that. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I was freaking out, but guess what? You guys seen the box opening. When I got her home, my baby really didn't have none of those things that I was going crazy over. And I mean, the things that I thought I hated the most, like our hands, it looked like they were puppet-like in the pictures and stuff, or I don't know how to explain it, but I absolutely love her hands. I barely covered them up and stuff, so I was like really excited. But I don't know what I would have done if I mean, I know what I would have done. I would have just sold her if she would have got here and those things were things that was like true, or it looked the way it looked in the pictures and stuff. But it's crazy because sometimes we drive ourselves crazy looking at, you know, some of the things. And I know it's like, it's the thing that gets us through. You know, we're waiting on a baby, so we find others that have the same baby and we watch that baby until our baby come home. And that's how we do. But sometimes, every now and then, we see stuff and we're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that, you know? So when I do my videos and when I do my photographs, I try to truly represent what the baby actually looks like. I try to show the true, you know, posing ability of the baby. I don't want to do something that's like, you know, over exaggerated to where people are gonna, you know, be like, oh, this baby can do that, only knowing that I'm using some type of photo prop, you know, major photo prop. Now if you're using a blanket or something like that, it's easy because another collector can do that. But if you're using like Photoshop and other things, and I'm not saying that these other people did this or anything like that, I'm just saying in general, if you're using all those type of things, it makes the collector feel like this is possible. Like I see a lot of prototype artists, they pose the babies like reborns without being put together, and so the babies are able to be a lot more flexible and turn into different poses, but under that blanket they're not really connected, so they're placing the limbs in a way to make the baby look more natural than what it is. To me, that's like false advertisement, because when the baby is put together, you can't do those things. And I've seen people do that, and I've actually bought babies based off of that, and then get it home and be so disappointed because the baby's limbs are too short, or they're not proportionate. But in the prototype pictures, they looked proportionate, they looked right. So, you know, that's why, you know, I try to tell people, hey, just like I told people, I said, you know what, my little Taylor, I love everything about her. She does have, you know, somewhat like froggy little legs, but they're not overly froggy. You know, I wouldn't change anything on her, you know, because it's the way that the artist intended her to be. There is only like maybe 2 things that I think would have really made her even more better. The inside wrinkles in there, those little things right there, I think they're unneeded. I don't really care for those, but you don't see them because she has a diaper on. And when she don't, I don't really worry about it or anything like that. And then her little bum bum, it's like a barely bum bum, but she looks so great in diapers. And even when she lay flat out, it still looks good and everything. But this baby is amazing. In fact, it's so funny because as much as I thought she wasn't going to even stay here, I just was saying to myself, shoot, this baby is, you know, she's on her way out as soon as she come. Like, I was thinking, okay, I'm not gonna be shopping for her to stay, I'm gonna be shopping for her to leave type thing. And then I was kind of, like I said, but then after I seen the video, I was kind of like, okay, maybe, you know, it'll be okay, or whatever. So I was kind of in between and on the fence. But it's funny because it turned out that she ended up being one of the babies. She's just a baby that I just love more than any baby that I've had, which is pretty cool. And you know, I'm like, she doesn't have all the features. She doesn't have a squishy tummy. She doesn't have an actual spine, but she looks like she has a spine the way that she was sculpted. And I just love her. I love every little thing about her. And so it's just amazing. And even it's funny because I always talk about people putting these bright eyes in these babies, and I'm like, you know, most African American babies don't have blue eyes. They don't have gray eyes or green eyes, but some do. My uncle was born with blonde hair and blue eyes, and then they turned to a hazel. His first granddaughter was born with the same blue eyes and blonde hair, but her hair is still like a blondish color. I think it might have turned a little darker blonde, like more of a what do you call it? I forget, but a strawberry blonde. But then her eyes are gray. Now, they turned gray. But for the most part, we just have brown eyes or light brown eyes in our family. But it's funny because her eyes are blue, and they're very blue. And it actually works, and I would have never chose that. But Claire chose that, and it actually looked good with the skin tone. So, you know, I guess it all worked out. I'm sorry. Thing is my hair seemed to, it's not really necessarily my hair. Never mind. I'm not gonna get into it. But anyway, this is one of the things too. I'll talk about that in another video, how we start to explain everything in our video because of the comment section. But anyway, here we are. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I just want, like I said, I just wanted to know if you ever had that experience. In my case, it ended well. It turned out well. And you know, sometimes we just worry too much, and we just need to follow our first mind and judge when the baby get there. You know, I see a lot of people like sell their babies before they even get home, and then they get it first to open it up just to ship it to the new mommy and regret doing it. So it's kind of, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure I see her first. So therefore, I'm glad I did, because I was just freaking out. that wait time will drive you crazy. It will. It really will. Anyway, guys, like I said, see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.